for the by how it looks.
Oh shit, I should check audio.
I could check audio because my computer is actually good now, but you should check audio.
Give me something to do. We all sound great according to Quiz.
Excellent. Probably Quiz. I don't think Zeke ever logs in on that one.
Okay.
I don't have an opening to show. Maybe I should have thought about that ahead of time, but I didn't. Because it's a
We should have done Law and Order. We should have just done Law and Order references.
Oh, fuck me. That would have been so good.
Okay, everyone imagine... Yeah, everyone imagine that we've done Law and Order. Like, just imagine the Law and Order Yeah, okay, so if everyone could imagine that happening, like, right now, that'd be great.
It's Apollo Justice time, though. Let me think. Phoenix Wright we did back in 2018. Ryunosuke Naruhodo's Doki Doki Magical Time Skip Adventure was like 2021. So we're due for an Ace Attorney trilogy, and Quiz refused to let me see anything about this game, so I'm going in completely blind. Gappy is going in blind, but that's because he's Gappy. So let's
so true.
Let's figure out what like magical people we are going to meet here. All these people apparently. Oh yeah, I went to the museum. I didn't click on anything because it told me it was going to be a spoiler, but I did go there. 2007 and 2024. Showdown time. You lose.
No hamburgers for you, Apollo.
Oh no. At least they're not showing me who the fucking murderer is this time. That's what you get for sucking at cards. They seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. April 20th, you know what that means. Time to go to court, time to lie to the judge. Hello there, Mr. You look surprisingly normal for this game. I imagine you are probably the murderer. Okay, alright, so Apollo's got a high-pitched voice, apparently. So, like, I've got the one high-pitched voice that I use, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if that's appropriate here.
You mean, like, do you think it's like the squeaky teen voice from The Simpsons? Like, I'm fine! I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Cords of Steel voice workout, I'm fine!
I can't do that voice. If I do that voice, it's gonna be my falsetto. Oh no! Which, you know, I need that to play girls. So you're Apollo Justice.
Hooray! I'm just in case! I overdid it again. Man, Mr. Papadopoulos is gonna kill me.
As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down if you catch my drift. If you catch my Tokyo drift.
Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift.
Excellent. Maybe work on your drip next time instead of your drift, because if you catch my drift, then you should really be a much handsomer person than you are, Apollo.
Yes, I'm fine, sir. I've been told this dripper drowned, and, well, I'm floundering.
Well, you know what they say, Apollo. You can either get a boat or you can go in knee deep. It's Roe versus Wade, and it's your choice.
Well, you know, I have the bumper sticker, row, row, fight the power.
That's the bad choice. That makes you anti-life.
My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm anti-life, apparently.
Well,
if
you
it
are
isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. I'm very close to Mickey Mouse.
You're getting really close to Mickey Mouse.
The defendant has been accused of murder!
A murder most foul! Oh.
Did someone say the door to darkness?
Kingdom Hearts is light, Mickey!
A homeless man?
The homeless man? The
Whoa! Good morning.
Morning. It's all up to you today.
First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
I'm getting voice critiques from Quiz in chat. For what it's worth, his voice is only high when he tries to scream or is loud.
Well, that's all the time. He is in a constant state of screaming and loudness. Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name.
Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me?
Not really.
Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And I have hair that won't come down, and he's your friend, so why are ellipses?
You'll see.
Oh no.
Oh no. You can do it. Be confident. Pretend I said confident.
I can't be confident.
No, I said pretend I said confident. Apollo, you're ruining my grizz. I love it when you call me Big Papa. That's why it's on my hat. Along with a button that it just seems like it's not at all amused to be here.
Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice!
Oh, dude, is that your catchphrase? Come on.
It's justice time!
Really couldn't have gotten anyone with less swag. Oh, hi, you're back again.
The defense is, fine. I mean ready, Your Honor. I'm going blank. Don't panic. Picture them in your underwear. Oh god, the judge is wearing negligee!
Your name was Mr. Judge Justice, and I'd rather you stop looking at my negligee right now. I wear a robe so that it's covered up. I don't want people thinking I'm a slut.
I'm fine, really?
Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained, and your eyes are going all over me.
I said I'm fine!
Alright, fine. Don't be a bitch. Or whatever. Mr. Gavin? You take the judge if I'm
Did I-
being Gavin.
Do you want to be Okay, I was under the impression you'd be heading up this case.
That was my intention, yes. But now it's not, because of chicanery, Your Honor. My client specifically requested Mr. Justice.
Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust this case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you are the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Oh, now I know what that's supposed to mean. God, fuck. Get that out of the courtroom right this instant. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events.
I thought I was the judge.
Oh no, we keep having to share the judge. I thought
I
thought
get
clearly
him every
not
other
Phoenix
Saturday.
right. I thought clearly not Phoenix right.
Long time, clearly not Phoenix Wright. Long time no see, Mr. Wright.
They don't even put that. They didn't even keep that hidden for long.
I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player.
Oh, I thought you were a detective.
Mr. Wright, how could this have happened?
How could this have happened? What the fuck did you do?
If the prosecution would be so kind to explain the charges, Mr. Payne.
To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I see you leave in chains. Winston Payne, subtle as ever, I see. Ahem. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him. Wham! On the head, smack, killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was?
The pianist for the club, it seems.
You said pianist. Phoenix Wright,
I said
a
pianist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice.
The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence.
Whoopsie. Hooray, I entered evidence.
The deadly bottle has been ordered into the court record. That's right, I'm the computer now.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep. 1001. Make a practice of checking it frequently.
The court record! Right! I've heard of that!
Use E to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to hit the E button.
I was told I couldn't take E in the courtroom!
Oh, right, I gotta do the fucking WASD for this shit. Victim, Shoddy Smith, male, estimated time of death, April 17th, between 1:45 a.m. and 2:15 a.m. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhaging resulting from blunt trauma to the forehead.
Ah, okay. So he was hit straight on.
Yep.
So he couldn't have been hit from behind.
Correct. And yeah. So we're gonna be pointing at this picture in a minute. And
Yeah, this guy has his back to the wall, so he has to see anyone who's coming for him.
Yes. Grape juice bottle used. Murder written. Bears. Phoenix. Mr. Wright's fingerprints. This is so much smoother now that I'm not using a trackpad for this. Mr. Justice, please quit fucking around with a deadly weapon.
Look, I can spin it!
And look, it's my attorney badge. Oh, that's gonna be... I didn't know this had a screw out on it. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I thought it was supposed to be like cufflinks, and that's you put it through the buttonhole of your lapel.
That makes sense.
So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this Shady Smith fellow?
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
That's the politically correct name for a gypsy, Your Honor. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence...
And he has some sort of connection with the defendant.
That's my understanding. I guess. I guess it's unclear. I guess they first met at the Worst Beef Bowl. I don't know anything, Your Honor. I'm a fucking idiot.
If they only just met in one murder, perhaps the victim slided the defendant's piano. Blah, 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 blah. Now I have it!
Ah! The strokes are contagious. The motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill, at least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. Oh hey, I have that photo! Look! As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a second! Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself!
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal. A gambler. Fuck! That's gonna sound so cool! Damn it! It was only that, a game, in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs wreathed in blue flame, know its final outcome.
Come again?
You said come. You said
I
come.
did!
The cards had blue backs. I believe the defense was maxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That would be our first order of business here then. Wax vanilla sophically.
What? Okay.
I don't know. To find more about this card game, I'm more of a magic player. Very well defended, you will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime.
My pleasure.
This is it! My first trial! Here goes nothing!
By the way, Quiz, I saw your message earlier, and yes, I definitely knew that Phoenix Wright was in this game. He is all over the marketing and packaging for this. Alright, I'm a pianist by trade, yeah, I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy.
So there's only 2 decks of cards, so if he starts talking about, like, I had 3 of a kind, that can't be... Actually, no, that can be, because
If you
that's
have
4 suits.
If you have 2 decks of cards, then you will have 8 of each type of
Card.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right! Your Honor! My first cross-examination! Don't blow it!
Are you alright? You're sweating bullets.
Yeah, I am. I'm worried I've just completely fallen into Mickey Mouse. Bullets! Where?
It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too.
Your voice sounds sprained and raspy!
No, it doesn't! Don't try and push this back onto me, Apollo. I know you better than that. Don't try and fadangle me.
I am named after the god that pulls the sun across the sky! I will pull justice into this world! I am a golden god!
I hate WASD, but yeah, I don't think we need a refresher. I think I know how to do this.
I don't, but I don't need help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered.
I think you'd better do more than you think. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it or you do not.
Oh my god! The strokes are contagious! Cords of steel ready for battle! My weapons, press and present!
Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it.
Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright?
Psycho Mantis?
A high D? I'd say a Phoenix Wright would never lie!
The defense may begin cross-examination. God, being a voice actor, sorry. No wonder Chris Sabat left.
I am a pianist by trade, but I can hardly play at all. You can hardly play. Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want.
Was that supposed to be a boast just now?
Sounds like the opposite.
Then why are you really into Borscht Bowl Club?
My real job is to take on it. Pay you just to play poker.
They paid. Oh, do you want just like for the gameplay purposes, just read everything?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll just read it silently, and you know, shit happens.
Yeah. We just completely ignored fuck off pain.
Pain. I am the pain.
Played poker for 7 years in that little room. God, it's been 7 years? I'm quite a draw. I draw dimes and break
Wait,
guitars.
you never lost once?
I'm a professional.
He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible?
It is if he cheats.
Room where the crime scene photo is that an attraction?
It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day.
Black market?
All in the past, things like a black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table, right there in that room.
A smoky room,
A
gambling
smoky room,
hoods.
gambling hoods, you know?
Looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Bad to the bone.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-na-na-na-na.
Hi, Milnies. Welcome to the group. I hope I did not mispronounce your name. Window. Does look like
Yeah,
it would be good.
window
For
looks
keeping...
like it'd be good for keeping a lookout, but little else.
What window? Oh. This window here. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Okay. 2 decks of cards. Why? To prevent cheating? I guess to prevent from counting cards.
If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards.
That doesn't make sense.
Something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lines scattered on the floor.
Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor, cards everywhere, each one forming a complete deck. Crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. And not pink, that's how you know this isn't Danganronpa. One deck of cards is red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Heh. Yes, a game of hands. You want to throw some hands? Let's throw some hands over the table.
Hands. There's competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right. It was a simple game after all.
No, are you sure?
Are you sure?
People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment the crime occurred, yet you claim no connection to the crime.
That's strange. I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. I should know. I break them every time.
Ah! Yeah, I completely let that one slip by.
Don't despair yet, Justice.
You're right, it's not Danganronpa. We don't have time for despair.
Hoo 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 hoo, Mr. Justice.
Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony.
Just one little press. I've got myself a whole new testimony.
I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon.
Your fingerprints are on the bottle!
Boom! Okay. Boom! Boom. Oh, R. So you say you didn't touch the murder... Oh, sorry, Mickey Mouse. This grape juice bottle? Right?
Right? Bitch!
So I said.
Ellipses! Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Too bad I need a defense attorney. Never learned how to play dumb.
What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints.
Objection!
Objection! OBJECTION!
We are
Don't answer,
family.
I can hear you just fine. Sorry.
Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case.
I'm not crazy, your vocal cords are steel!
I'm gonna punch you and your vocal cords of steel, and we'll see how irony
What's so
they are.
strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant?
Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did. All right. No need to shout in my ear, Mr. Payne.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
Well, Your Honor, it's like when you have something that's right side up, and then you turn it upside down. That's what upside down means.
Right side up? What does that mean?
It's like when you have something that's upside down, and then you turn it upside down. That's what
Upside
right side up
down? What does that mean?
It's like when you have something top to bottom, and then you turn it bottom to top. That's
Top
what
to
upside
bottom?
down.
What does that mean?
Well, the top is the guy that usually puts it in, and the bottom is the guy that takes it. To bring
I'm
someone-
homophobic.
What are you talking about? Both your eyes are the same color.
True. You win this one. You're the judge now, Mr. Payne.
In that case, I rule the defendant guilty. Case closed, everyone. One truth prevails. Bring in the dancing lobsters!
I'll be the judge of stream. Defendant, can you explain the dancing lobsters?
Uh,
I mean, the
Honest-
fingerprints on the bottle.
honestly, Your Honor, you said dancing lobsters, and now I don't know how to view anything. I think I'm on the wrong ontological plane of this courtroom, to be quite frank.
Silent treatment isn't to hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something.
And what might that be, Mr. Gavin?
On the night of the crime, who was it that reported the murder to the police?
Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that...
Really?
Anthony!
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder is reported by the NC by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
But a bad guy wouldn't do. You're the scene.
Your Honor, I would like to put forward that this was a self-report.
Okay, now we got planograms. These are important. Small room in the basement, 2 floors down from the ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go to above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant, so 2 floors up.
I see, and this phone made the call. What a novel concept.
A cell phone.
The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose, yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative?
Irk.
Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this.
I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyd, I assure you no one is more than serious about...
What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? That to me sounds like a lie. How can you possibly know that?
That's a good question. How indeed?
The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive list.
Yeah, you're as good as you say you are. So someone else...
So someone else is in the room and just saying, no, I'm saying this! That must mean they witnessed the crime.
Everything up to now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready?
No!
Very
Very well. The prosecution may call the first witness to the stand. Cue the music!
Oh no, she's Russian. She's Russian. We need to play the Tetris theme. Da 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 da.
So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people.
Now you're going to Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, huh?
A little bit, yeah. Have no fear. Any hordes?
Any horse? I swear.
Please come out. Here. Here, witness.
Oh no, da. Yet.
Now, the prosecution. Ah! Fuck! What the shit?
What's the prosecution, players?
Explain! What the fuck's with the camera?
I don't know, Your Honor. She's a professional. You know, those are merely tools of her trade. She's a photographer.
What would that be?
Olga Orley. I am employed as waitress in Bush Bowl Club Restaurante.
Then why the camera?
Of course, it is my pride to serve Bosch that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, how easy said, other service.
I take it one of those other services taking the customer's picture.
Dada!
Ah!
Like for example, this one.
That's the defendant.
Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput.
Indeed, that is the victim. He's gone kaput.
Kaput indeed, Miss Olga.
Order! Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. This is quite a piece of evidence to bring into the court.
It is the same way as I call cold pulpa on laps of customers, casually.
Then the court will casually accept this new evidence.
Alright. Time to look at the court record. Alright. I don't see anything yet.
Yeah.
He's got a necklace, and I think Phoenix is wearing that now.
Oh. I think you're right. Oh, close here. Can you spin it around?
Oh, I definitely can. Let's spin it right round, baby. Right round. Like a record, baby. Right round, round. Oop. See, what do we have here? The battery is being held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one.
Buy a new one if you can afford it. I'm not ready to die yet. I got places to go, people to see.
Clarence, help me out. Alright. I was in the room, the hideout we call it.
Excuse me, the hideout?
It is room where famous gangster, bad guy was arrested. Is room where murder took place. Your look of utter surprise, it is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Dada, photos will be numbered and you will write which ones you want copy of. You will pay me $29.99 for service. You will pay me $39.99 for printing. Anything else, you will go kaput. I will shove you into the locker. The camera locker. It is 12 inches tall. You will not fit. You will be very, very, very uncomfortable.
If Mr. Wright isn't the killer, then that means... Very well, witness! Shove that man into the tiny locker.
Dada, we'll shove into locker. After testimony. That fateful night.
You sound like the maid from Family Guy.
That night, customer asked for me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on, da. The victim, he plays the whole time with his hand on the locket at his neck. And last hand is done, but something terrible has happened, da. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Well,
Objection!
Yep. So,
incidentally, who won the game of Strangle?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection! That's ridiculous! Because Mr. Wright can't lose!
Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection.
But he hadn't lost in 7 years!
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor either, incidentally. I have some evidence here.
Yeah, well, I have some evidence of me boning your wife.
Your Honor, not only is that not relevant to the case, but I'm pretty sure that's a HIPAA violation. Hand and chips on this
The
side.
only hippo I violated was your wife.
That's not nice. She has diabetes. She can't help it.
I'm the sweetest thing in her life.
Well, that's not true. Her A1C is above 7.
Yeah, our blood is like cotton candy. All right, let's move on. I don't like this bit anymore. How many cards did you count?
Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. Yeah. I know how poker works. Don't blame how poker
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means the poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
Yep.
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, this is definitely gonna get me losing points, but I'm gonna fucking just present the death case on the last sentence, because that seems like what should be the case here. Oh, music stopped.
Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd.
Duh. Duh, no more customers, only choke unpushed.
No, what I mean is the report says that the victim died of a blow to the head.
Heck!
Miss Orley, really now, did you witness the crime?
Eek!
Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
I noticed that. And it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Good heavens, his skull is shit!
It was more than hit.
Hey.
He was clobbered.
Oh, he got potatoed in the skull.
Alright, so, like, it's small for you, probably, but he's definitely not wearing his necklace at that time.
Yeah. Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time.
Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more.
What do you mean? I found a contradiction.
There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Very well. It seems that we should continue the cross-examination. This thing is thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it.
There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too.
Stop reading my mind, mind freak!
Alright, let's see if they change the thing here. Okay, after he... Alright, so let's press on this one. Because the locket
It's
is
locket.
not in that photo. I don't think it's a contradiction, so I don't think we can bring it up yet.
Felt as though it might carry him to the moon and stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. So if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift.
I get it.
The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, appended with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket.
Of course, I knew
Of
that.
course. I did not know that. Oh, fuck. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. Doesn't matter what shape it is.
It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society.
Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? Could you take a picture, a look at? Can we see like the cards on the table again, or?
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to see. 3 kid. Oh, he had a full house.
Well,
and
they both
he had
had
more
full
valuable
houses.
cards.
Yeah, they both
Yeah,
had full
but
houses, but he was King's High and Phoenix was Sevens High.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. He hit him with the bottle. Let's press on that again.
You didn't say anything about hitting before.
So sorry, I must be forgetting this.
Witness, you will take greater care with your testimony.
Oh, Dada, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I will be better in the future.
And that clears up the discrepancy with the autopsy report, I believe. The defendant made to strangle the victim, didn't change his mind, and chose a simpler, blunter means to do the job. Yes, that sums it up nicely.
So he strangled him, then hit him? Something's fishy about all this.
Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shoddy Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I've got you now, Orly.
She probably poisoned the borscht.
Customers asking. Okay, let's look at what we've got. Smith's autopsy report. Okay, so here's the picture of him without his locket. I get this is the best thing that we've got.
Yeah.
That she has. So I think we'll go with that.
It was cold. Both players played with hats on.
Hold on. Okay, both players did indeed play with hats on. Maybe I present this here as like, no, he was clearly not playing with his hat on.
Yeah, the victim he placed the whole time with his hand on the locket at his neck.
Just gonna scroll forward.
Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. The defendant has tried to strangle the victim. He hit him with bottle.
Okay.
Can we push on wearing hats?
Yes.
It's already April. How could it be cold?
At Borscht Bowl Club, we have pride on authentic Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it's as always cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there.
When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning, da.
Alright, we pressed on that. We pressed on 2.
Can we press on her asking to deal cards? Because she'll probably say something like, "They give me 3 decks of cards!"
That's very possible.
You are dealing cards. Do you do this often?
Da, I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. Photographic.
Ah, Jesus fuck!
I apologize,
Good.
Your Honor.
It's good to hear a place hasn't forgotten the meaning of service.
Welcome you to Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as a waitress.
Thank you
Clammy
for not
and
handing
frigid!
Thank you for not handing out. Fuck! They didn't give us that information.
No, I think this is the one we gotta do here. And okay. Music stopped.
You know, there's one curious part in her testimony, as Gavin said, but what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on the locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photo. Look at this photograph!
Oh yeah, Apollo gets it. Tell him, Apollo, sing it to them.
Do you see the locket on the victim's neck?
Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this.
Yeah, I love Nickelback, but what does it mean?
You know, you remind me.
If I'm were to believe this witness' testimony, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor.
It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off. No.
Taking it off? Wait, you don't mean...
The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
Ah!
Eric?
Just Phoenix with the necklace. Guys, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I got this swag.
Defendant, what do you have to say about this?
Sure.
Say!
Yeah?
Did you always that necklace on? I noticed that you have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
Oh? You mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Come again? Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright, you've had sex?
I used to be the pussy-eating king of my college, Your Honor. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you were aware of that. But yeah, I was the pussy-eating king. I ate so much pussy that they called me the pussy-eating king of college campus.
Why don't I buy that this is a coincidence?
Well now.
Well now, the results of the poker game led to the murder. Perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Oh, hold on. Alright, so, bottle pointing... There's a bottle on the table, it is pointing in that direction.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over here, bottle is pointing towards Phoenix, okay? Bottle is pointing...
Well, yeah.
So, okay.
And
so
here
that's
the
fine.
bottle is pointing towards Phoenix.
Okay, that's fine. That's a easy way for them to gagoozle me.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant.
Duh!
The game began with 3,500 pointing chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who is winning die, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle and...
She's lying again.
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Ah, how many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I've done. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies.
Unlike
Mr.
me.
Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong.
The game began with 3,500 points and chips with each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. Let's start there.
Press on this to find out that small are actually more valuable.
Chips in this photo, all the chips that were used. Duh. Of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder?
Well, if you're gonna give me the option, the answer is yes.
Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips.
Explain. What is there to be explained?
Objection!
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block, not a motorcycle cop, not a giant black cock. I don't know. I don't know where he was going with that.
I don't know, I pressed her. I better ask her something. What are these chips worth? Are they dollars or rubles even?
Yeah, rubles! Barney rubles!
Odd, perhaps, for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip, 100-point chip and 1,000-point chip. Alright, so let's,
Yeah, we can do simple math to find out that the smaller chips are worth more.
Well, the point is we need to find a... Yeah, okay, I get what you mean, yes. So, the total value of these chips has to be 7,000, because each of them got 3,500. Now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 gray chips, and there are 6 red chips, okay?
Yeah. So that means the black ones are 100 and the red ones are 1,000.
God, that was much more simple than I was about to write down algebra. Yes, the red
Once
ones...
I found out there were 10 black ones, like there's no way they could be worth the 1,000, so they had to be worth the 100. So then I was like, okay, that's 1,000, and the other ones are going to be... Sorry, that makes 1,000 total, so the rest of them have to be valued at 6,000.
That's right. Very good. Yeah. That was
I had my
simpler than I
Rain
thought it
Man
was gonna
moment.
be.
I had a feeling the plot point was going to be like, yeah, Phoenix has less chips, but he has more high-value chips.
Yeah,
Phoenix was winning.
Phoenix was winning.
Well, does the defense want a witness to add to her testimony?
Yes.
Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was fucking going with it. Very well. Would you be so kind?
Your honor.
One kind of chip is worth 100 points, other kind is worth 2 kinds in all. I'll press on it, and then I will go for the photo.
Be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think what you want to say before raising your hand. You're not in kindergarten.
That's bullshit! I wanna go to the swing set on recess. Fuck.
I better think of something to ask, and quick! To 2 types of chips. The small ones are 100 and big ones are 1,000. Right? Right? Of course?
Ha! Don't waste our time.
Great, Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb.
Please try not to embarrass me like that. There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten, after all. Alright, cool.
Calculation. So if we look at the picture, can we examine the picture and go like, wait, there are X amount and Y amount?
Good point. I'm not getting any, like, things that...
we're not getting any prompts.
So, I think this is just... Look at this! Okay.
The one who was winning, duh, it was the victim.
Right. I have to pull the evidence up to present it. Boo shakalaka! You're sure?
You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure.
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, for anyone here, could you explain the problem to the court? It's fun. I forgot how his voice is got. Which ones are worth 1,000 points?
Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Fucking idiot. You dumbass
Oh, I
Apollo.
thought so too. But then the totals don't add up.
Nani?
Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. That's a total of 7,000.
That's right. Very good, Apollo. You passed kindergarten.
Wait. Hold on. So 3 plus what carry? Look at this photograph. That allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small ones are worth 100, then you add them up.
How much is it? Ha! You have to tell me.
Do it yourself. You're in kindergarten. I think it's 10,600. Yeah, 10,600 points. The chip stuff. The numbers don't lie. And they spell that this girl was lying.
Your Honor, I object. Apollo is fat.
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why.
Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips were indeed shown in this photograph, then there can be only one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips were the other way around.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big one. Why did the room why is the room flashing?
Because he's taking damage.
Show me the photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why? That does make 7,000 points when you add them up.
The judge can count! Oh my god. Excellent work, Justice.
I thought he was stupid. I thought I was stupid.
It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. We did!
Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. What the fuck?
But wait. The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing.
Indeed. The victim did have the larger number of chips still.
Oh, wait, I am stupid.
Fuck. God fucking damn it. If the small chips are 1,000, the bigger ones are 100, then let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, hands it. Are you okay? Dude, are you okay? Well, now, seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all.
That's impossible.
My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning!
No, he can't be winning. Every time he's winning,
No.
we shut him up.
Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips since you were the one at the scene of the crime, weren't you?
Eek! Fine. Eek! Eek! Eek, 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 eek.
Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, but not his mojo.
Or his
Mr. Wright's
smile.
supposed defeat never happened.
I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Wait, what do you mean? A scam? A flim-flam? A boondoggle?
A snickerdoodle?
No, Your Honor, the Schnickerdoodle is a cinnamon cookie.
Ah,
Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with cheats as they are.
great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating.
Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting...
And if the locket turns out to be the defendants, then we also have stealing. Viva la raza, baby!
Let's go, fuckers! Antifa! Antifa!
What?
The last hand, both men had full house.
I don't know why that got me.
I guess me shouting Antifa was a thing from before your time here. I stopped doing it after a
Probably.
while, but...
I wonder why.
I mean, it just got tired, that's all.
And now the joke is back and it's making me laugh.
It's a 7-year cycle. What's old is new again.
Yeah. Bell-bottom pants are back in fashion. Tell your friends. Why did I not tell the court this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. What's
Mr. Gavin, sorry, I forgot I was talking. What's a full house?
lawyers these days? You don't know your poker.
Poker, I hardly know her.
Poker, liquor, first one then the other.
This is like some secret court poker ring?
Justice, you know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm with you so far. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 of a kind is 3 of a kind.
Now picture a pair with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house.
Oh, that doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see each player's hand in this photo.
Wow, they both have full houses.
We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house. And go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
Ahem. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, it leaves an important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat?
Da-da-da-da. The final hand.
The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck, from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious.
Hold on. How was it clear?
Well, the defendant, he played a fifth ace.
Fifth ace?
I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hands has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Well, we went over if they played with 2 decks.
Yep. Very well.
Very well, the witness will add this detail to a testimony, please.
Okay. I think we have... I don't know if we have evidence for that yet. But we did... I think we just press for now.
Yeah. A fifth ace?
Should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hands has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Well, where did this come from then?
Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck isn't no... than forging evidence in a court of law.
You bet, I've no intention of staying quiet. Not me! No, sir! Better find some contradicting evidence fast!
Okay, what evidence do we have that can contradict this?
Oh, wait, hold on. Go over to, like, the pictures and see does it mention anything about 2 decks.
Oh, right, we've got, details. That didn't help. There's the blue deck there. Does this one have the blue deck and the red deck? No, it does not. Does this one have the blue deck and the red deck? Oh,
No, just a gray deck.
It does have the cards on the floor as well as the... That's all I can think of.
God, I wish there was really, like, a picture to be like, hey, where... Mr. Wright, where are you? Come here. Say the thing you said before.
Shit. Well, I showed her my badge.
There's evidence clearly as a contradiction in that statement. How exactly is the evidence of the statement that's now relayed? They aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Justice, please think the facts over before making false accusations.
Now we'll never get the real ending.
Yeah, that was... This was as good as we were gonna... Opportunities any to get a perfect one.
Oh, it's fine. Who cares?
Okay, but there is a... Okay, I guess they haven't shown us how to... They haven't shown us how to get people in. Alright, let's press for a minute now. Maybe it's just pressing. So, the victim, he shouts, "You are cheater," and then...
The defendant shouts something like, "I have objection."
Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life.
However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast a shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith.
Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart.
So what did the flaming defendant do next?
He took bottle in hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Yeah. By bottle, are you referring to... Blah.
Yeah, blah. He used the defendant to ha.
The behavior is an admission of cheating by defendant.
But why using grape juice bottle?
You'd be surprised at what can be used as a weapon.
The juice is recommended drink of Boschbo Club Da. This year's vintage is remarkable for its hefty flavor.
Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it's a serious competition, now she says there was cheating.
Justice, notice anything odd? Testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes.
I hadn't noticed that. Let's get to... Yeah, can we push on certain things? Like... Leave it to me. And then Full House.
4 of each card. Deck from ace to king.
Maybe we need to press on that.
4 of each card, you say?
Yeah.
One spade, one diamond, one heart, and one club. Sometimes they go in order, like club, diamond, heart, club, diamond, heart, club, diamond, heart.
It's funny you say that, because like when I came up with the poker chip thing, Quiz immediately commented, Gappy has way too much experience with poker chips.
Yes.
Huh? You don't say.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
man,
of
there's courtroom for here.
there's a lot of card facts here. Oh, this has a chat log. Finally! Jesus, now it's a good visual novel.
Yeah, Quiz, I know, look, we're just trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to push that, like, we know that there are 2 decks. We know what the, like, going forward thing is, I think. It's just, like, trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to portray this to, the bad guys.
Yeah, how do we do this best? Like, is there something for me to click on here?
Grape juice. How long has this been since I drank grape juice? Apparently, Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how it goes with borscht. Wait, check the... Oh, so you can check everything.
Yeah, whenever there's a red circle there. That'll be important later.
Wait! Mr. Wright is in flip-flops!
Oh, he's got
He has
sandals
his
without
toes-
shoes on. Oh.
He's got his toes out for free?
Okay. Alright. Fucking do it.
The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
Alright, not that one.
Oh, rats. Mr. Smith's hand was on treatment. Mr. Wright's too. That's 5 aces in all.
Let's try
Okay.
pressing again.
A 5th ace! Duh! Oh, wait, that's you.
Still remember both hands very well. 3 aces. Right's 2.
Yeah, but we know there were 2 decks!
Yeah, how do we get from A to B here?
Ah,
Oh, did Phoenix get disbarred for forging evidence? Is that why Winston Payne is saying that word?
next moment, game becomes argument. The defender's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. I know! Alright, let's look at our items again.
Okay. Got the attorney badge.
There are many numbers like it, but this one's mine. I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I got a happy feeling just looking at it. How about that? Can we take off the back of Phoenix's phone
Sure.
to find a card shoved into it?
Seems like the worst way
No.
to cheat, but
Yeah.
okay.
Alright.
I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to find it because there's.
Wait a minute,
There's the
Cappy! Fucking hell!
What?
There aren't 5 aces! You
Oh!
lying slut.
Wait, how?
She just straight up fucking lied about it, and we were too
Did we-
dumb to
what?
look at the fucking photograph.
Oh. Fuck me.
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger
No,
to
I'm
point out your
confused.
point.
I'm just as confused. We were lied to.
What-
I hate liars.
Okay. Wright is supposed to have had 3 aces, so we're going to point here. Point to the relevant spot. Okay.
No, she said that the victim had 3 aces, so it's over at the victim's side. The third king?
Let me fucking... I mean... It's... I agree, but it's also not letting me click, so... I don't know. Like, this feels like it's just not clicking where it's supposed to be. Rather than... Oh, I have to hit R for
Okay.
present.
Fuck you! Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only had 2 aces.
Eek!
Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the third ace in question.
Objection!
No!
No, it fucking didn't! Look! God damn it, Winston!
We're not going through this. Look at the phone. You have to check the phone now. It's your job.
You're going through all the evidence, Winston.
Look at my prosecutor's badge. Look at it.
Mr. Apollo, you're a defendant.
You're a defense attorney, sorry. You'll be a defendant
Okay,
at some
proof.
point, because that's how these games work.
It is true. I have seen it. This is ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, and yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day.
You're right to trust your instincts.
Mr. Gavin?
Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead?
Oh, it actually might be. The card might actually be shoved up the back of the phone.
Maybe.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
Don't mind. Perhaps we might examine the actual cards.
The cards?
Mr. Payne?
Eric, yes?
Players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court.
Very well. The prosecution will submit the evidence. Which will you accept? I'm sorry about missing out on the cards. I have face blindness when it comes to kings.
Then how were you the poker face of court number 3?
You win a lot of hands when you pull a gun on a bitch.
Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? I'm guessing they'll let us go through both, so just one at a time.
Well, there's some testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Alright. Find the queen! 3-card Monty,
Don't
let's go!
Let me do it. I was gonna go there.
You were going to make a 3-card Monty joke?
No, I was gonna fucking look at the evidence, but the game said not to and took it away from me.
Ah.
Aha.
What? This card is a different color. Oh, the victim's cards. The back is a different color.
Eh? Eh?
That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand.
Eck!
What was that, Miss Orley?
No, yet. I mean, I have eek.
Your Honor?
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat? I wouldn't fucking know. I don't cheat. I just pull guns on fools.
One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer.
Ah! Wait, so you mean?
She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager.
Yarg! Yarg!
Order! Order! Focus, Justice! Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake!
I heard his thoughts out loud, Your Honor. They weren't savory.
Please recall the testimony.
That's impossible. I put that card in Wright's hand.
Ergo, Miss Ogla orally conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shaddy Smith.
Yeah.
I just noticed I'm wearing a bracelet. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you? Time for justice!
Oh, please don't tell me that's your catchphrase. Yeah.
There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright wasn't guilty, then that means I am.
You're guilty?
The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder.
Yarg!
Does anyone else think that borscht looks like a lobster sometimes?
I don't know why it would. It's made out of beets.
I know, but the shape of the beet soup makes me think that's a lobster landing in a pot. Might be the low frame rate.
No, it definitely looked like a lobster to me, too.
It seems you presented a new possibility to court. One suggested connection between witness and me. Actually, I just realized it's raining and I might have left the window down in my car. Would you excuse me for like 20 seconds?
Okay, for those 20 seconds, I will now go get some water from my fridge. I should be able to reach it from here, but nope. Because I got headphones on. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Give me 1 second, party people. I will be back, and hopefully, I mean, I'm not leaving anywhere. I'm just heading to my fridge. You will hear me narrating my entire journey there. And back, even. But turns out, voice acting is hard, and I sometimes need water. That does make it feel a lot better. All that, you know, voice acting shit that I do. Of course, I have Winston Payne, who's... So, like, that's also tough. Also, the falsetto is kind of hard. I did it! I held out! I'm winning! Ah! Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think, one of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
Objection!
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of it. Front-facing Phoenix Wright looks so weird.
He's so symmetrical.
It looks very Rikishi.
You mean Wile E. Coyote from Tails Gets Trolled?
Yeah, look at the curve of the mouth.
He does have the Ozaki Rikishi mouth, yeah.
Yeah. And like the fact that like one eyelid is like slightly drooped down makes me think he's punch drunk. Why use different colored backs? Prevent cheating.
If we use the same color, the two decks might get mixed. We used the red deck for the last game.
I see. Goes on. For some reason, I have this impression that you are using the blue cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
me too. I'm sure someone has said something about blue cards.
Whatever, in the end, one card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises two serious questions. Apollo?
Yeah?
Eat your hamburgers. Let's first consider the question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are three broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh, it might just be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be.
Nick!
I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped?
The fact that the two got the hat put back on his head after he was killed would imply that the place was affected after the murder.
That's what I'm going with, yeah.
Perhaps it happened after the murder?
Objection! What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Yes, but tell me! How did you swap the cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are different colors? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Ah!
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder. Nope, don't have a third.
What's the point of cheating after the game's over?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's
There's another?
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley.
Okay, so who was it to swap the red card for the blue card? Who swapped the cards? She was trying to cover up evidence of the cheating.
Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. The swapped card was from the wrong deck. Blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orley. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would
There
make
was
such
a
an
third
mistake?
person!
And he was hidden in the grassy knoll. Someone else then.
And well, doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting?
Yeah, we did name her, but it was... Phoenix said no. Card was swapped during the
If
game.
the cards were swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it?
Well, yeah, that's the prosecutor's job, I guess. Huh?
I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
A new direction?
We'll find that indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. That someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us what the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swapping didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card.
Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. And whoever swapped it wasn't expecting to be there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had what? The game... Huh?
Everywhere you look, everywhere you know, da-na-na-na.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else that night at the scene of the crime.
What? Oh no.
Mr. Wright, I shall have you know, if there was a fourth person here and you did not tell us, you're hiding evidence and you're going to jail.
I'm already in jail, Your Honor. The jail is society. You're the one behind bars.
No, give him the needle. We're in America. America, Japan.
No, please don't give me the needle. I'll be good. I'll stop quoting Foucault at you.
The problem is you conceal the thing.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
And I'm going to eat a candy bar in the meantime. Trial will resume in 20 minutes.
I'm gonna go on the jungle gym.
No fair. The defense attorneys always get the jungle gym.
Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. Justice. Justice. Carry on without me.
They got the coolest guy to pose for the portrait in the background.
Yeah, that's the judge.
Oh. He looks a lot cooler in the portrait.
Yeah, they really got his cool side.
That locket you wear, is it really yours, Mr. Wright?
You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. That does look like the magician, Gappy.
Hey, it's the Hangman! I'm just surprised to hear you have a daughter.
Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. In fact, judging by the Bucks art, I'd say it's an inevitability.
One more question. Were you the one that cheated?
What do you think? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I would never, to be honest. Sorry, lunch is running long. It is on 7 years.
Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Card economy is actually the most important thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Poker.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, poker is like trial law?
Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win.
Oh yeah, it sounds harder than it looks.
I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information.
You're kidding!
That witness, for instance, Mr. Orley. I'm sorry, you're not Mr. Orley.
I'm Mr. Orley! Ha! Got him!
I don't get it.
I know.
Did you notice?
Blowjob joke.
I get it.
No, come on. Who'd notice that?
Yeah, who would notice an oral sex joke?
Who would indeed? From me, just in case.
That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you.
That's the secret. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Eat your hamburgers.
No, you can do it. You just don't know it yet.
What's he talking about?
Soon. I almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it! You're a fucking liar! I'll kill you!
You will try, Apollo, but you will fail. You will die in the attempt. You will not survive any stake on my life. I want you to know that, and I want you to come back to me in a minute in the courtroom. Because I need your power.
I had no idea my cords of steel were that special.
It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Fucker. Suzuku!
Bro, what the fuck? Yeah, save the progress.
It's called Ratchet Saving, Tom.
Eat your hamburgers, Apollo!
April 20th.
That's what Apollo says every day in the mirror. Is like, let's go, eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
If you don't, they'll eat your lunch.
Kurosawa is considered as a witness for
Yes, Your Honor. She's regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again?
That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued.
You're looking quite a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
Yeah, you're looking like quite the pussy over there, Payne. Defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand.
Very well, this witness will take the stand. Ah, the breakfast burrito.
Yay! Not.
I knew it.
I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quick Fingers Orly. Because I don't just do
really?
Orly. I don't just do Orly. I do fingers too. I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
Witness, you will tell the court what you were up to that night.
Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences.
Fine.
You looked away when you said fine. I don't think you really do mean fine.
No, I mean exactly that. Fine. I don't agree. I'm just saying fine.
Waitress.
So you're in cahoots with the victim.
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend. The unbeatable Fir Ra. The plan was simple. Elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. It was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand. And then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out
Objection!
the card.
Is that dude giving Wright a reach around?
Eat your reach around, Paulo.
No. Oh shit, no.
Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast doubt on all his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really, Orly? How droll. But it appears he made quite the mistake.
A mistake?
I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that planted card?
Hey, that's right!
He's lucky, I'll give him that. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers Orly.
I think her name is pronounced like oh really. Like
Nope. Orly.
No, we're going orally. All right. The witness is much cuter. She dismissed with the rude shtick.
Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. I'm so bad.
When you're through being bad, you can testify to the court. You ain't bad. You're nothing.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
The judge eats pieces of shit?
No!
No! Shut up! I hate it here!
Alright.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect, if that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking! Well, the testimony for what it's worth, it's all yours, Mr. Justice. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? Ah, jeez! And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Alright. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant.
Different personality, but the same testimony.
Circumstances have changed, yet her testimony has not. That means there's got to be a contradiction in there. Quite. Alright.
Oh, we have more evidence. Or do we?
We did go over one page, yeah.
Let's see, it was a full house. Okay, it was a full house. I say we just press on everything.
Yep. Oh, I got all my health
planted
back.
card. Which card was it exactly?
The trump card. The 5 of hearts. Mr. Wright was to have switched the 5 with the ace to make it a full house. At least that's what you are going to accuse him of doing, thereby ruining his legend. Slid it into Wright's pocket. Why, before the match, of course. While he was eating. At the Borscht Bowl Club, we serve borscht and suckers.
Remind me to never go there.
Of course, the card was to make its grand debut during the game. Like a good borscht, a good plot must be cooked up early and allowed to thicken. Fifth ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as a cheat and a fraud. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Yeah, if I had to guess, Wright had the card in, put the card in the back of his phone.
Alright, let's check the phone again.
But the card was nowhere to be found, is this correct?
Never in my long storied career, never has Quick Fingers Orally been so readily duped.
Oh really? So what happened to that 5 of hearts?
Don't look at me. Why don't you ask that cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
So the 5 of hearts is still missing in action.
Let's see if we can examine the phone. Okay, not yet.
Yeah. Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's odd? He searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing, which means he didn't cheat, which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well... Oh, she's touching the back of her head.
What? What's wrong, Mr. Justice? Nothing, Your Honor. What to do? What should I press her a little harder? Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about, you?
Me? Quick Fingers Orally? Hide something?
The defense will refrain from baseless accusations.
I have one question for the witness, then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it, honest. I saw it when Wright hit him. With my own eyes, I saw it.
What is this weird vibe I'm getting?
That witness, for instance, Miss Orley, she would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
She touches the back of her neck when she's lying.
Do 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 do.
PNG. I want to see Apollo just spasming on the table. What's going on? The sensation, It's coming into focus. I have taken E.
Well, we all knew that it was going to happen at some point in the courtroom.
It's like I couldn't perceive her habit like I couldn't before.
I hit R to perceive.
Miss Orley, perhaps you're unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get into a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand.
My neck? So what?
What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort.
When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it.
A memory? Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
It's highly unusual that you will claim to witness remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us. Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime.
So what would remind her the most? When you think about the moment...
I've noticed that happens when you think about the moment of the crime. Must be for some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an indiscernible impression on your neck is this.
Okay.
Probably the bottle.
I mean, that's... When he says weapon, that's immediately what I go to.
Yeah.
But there's also this... Like, let's try. That's not the moment of the crime.
Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds us more of the moment than this bottle, the murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. You were the only witness to the crime. Why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain?
Oh, she got strangled.
It was Mr. Smith, the victim who was hit, not you!
This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjecture. The witness's habits, they're completely irrelevant.
Justice? I'll admit, I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination.
I'll explain later, just trust me. This is her only chance to break her. Miss Orley, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment.
Yet I am knowing nothing.
What the fuck? We know you're not Russian. The witness will testify, please, now.
Bah.
Fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there.
Okay, press for now. Come back to it later.
Yeah. You seem uneasy.
You try standing up here.
Her eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like?
Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at that table until the cops came.
Intriguing.
No, he called the cops.
He did call the cops. So what do you think about her testimony? I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is...
Flawed. It's a fine testimony. Death to Mr. Wright.
Boogie Chica!
Arise, chicken, arise.
Chicken, arise, chicken. Yes, I'm well aware of the power of BillyWitchDoctor.com. Thank you, Mr. Apollo.
That's a killer reference. Thank you for that. She didn't let him out of sight until the cops came. We know there's some evidence that contradicts that.
Okay. I'd imagine it's this one, because it very clearly shows him not there, I guess. But...
If not, then I would also, yeah, probably. If not that, Wright's phone that says he made the call, he went outside to make the call, and...
Oh,
but yeah,
the restaurant's
there's
first
also
floor. Restaurant's first floor. Let's go with the cell phone. The photo has not been helpful so far.
Miss Orley, we have record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant.
Hey!
And we know
Hey!
that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, went down the ladder, knocked out a guy with a candlestick, and made the phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Bowl Club.
No, it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the first floor of the Borscht Club.
So you knew!
No, definitely not.
Oh, she did have crab in
Hey,
there.
that is lobster!
That is, in fact, lobster.
I thought it was borscht. That's weird.
Maybe they don't know what borscht is.
The man who picked up the bottle and swung it wasn't the defendant.
We gotta return to the Danganronpa mindscape.
Showdown time! You dirty cheat! Check his pockets, now. Oh.
Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to right, and he hit me.
A massive cheating you turned out to be, you fucking crunk.
Eek! When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that...
Oh, the victim was already dead. Is that it?
That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure.
We know you're definitely a suspect.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Well, where does that leave us?
Madness. This is madness. I'm dreaming. It must have been
Me who was hit with the bottle and I'm a mad...
Oh, okay.
It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. I mean, look at him. He looks like a bitch. Mr. Gavin, do you concur?
I believe that. As a
Mr.
defense in
Gavin,
this
sir?
case- As a defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big, fat liar.
What? I'm not fat.
Well, you are stinky. Take a bath, dummy. I called her a dummy, Apollo. You fucking got her.
That was awesome, sir.
High fives after court. In court, we have to be professional.
Oh, absolutely.
And the denouement of the murder was murder.
What? No, I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me.
What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process.
Mr. Wright.
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder.
Right. Like Mr. Wright was saying before recess.
A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder, and the one who swapped the card didn't know two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person.
Ah, this theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist.
Indeed, that's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal.
If it turns out to be Gavin,
Yeah. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided to us, and right at the beginning of the trial, no less.
What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about.
sorry.
Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error.
He or she wasn't considering the color on the backs of the cards.
Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there's one person here, in our court, who thought those cards were blue. Black and white photograph!
Yeah, I had the impression, but why?
Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was?
It's not me, I swear.
Why do I always get put on the spot like this?
Who wants to hear what the defense has to say? Who thought the cards used in the final game were blue?
Will we just
Winston
betray
Page.
Gavin immediately?
Maybe.
Or do we just want to fuck with, do we choose... Winston Payne said it wasn't him.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the
But-
evidence we need.
But at the same time, Gavin seems really eager to put the girl behind bars.
YOLO. As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair.
I was right? Oh, fuck, I flipped a coin!
Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night.
But, of course, Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards.
How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table.
But, look! You can see the colors in this photo.
Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It's true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim, yet it was only that, a game, in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. Competition? Oh yeah, tested waves, clash of passions, blah blah blah, blue flames, blah blah blah.
Blue flame,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Jacked off into the primordial ooze, and now I exist. Time loop.
Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Right. You aren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph, you know even I'd never take a joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder.
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to the victim?
I wasn't aware that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night, before the game started.
What are you suggesting? Is this the truth, Mr. Wright? What's staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request you to testify in court.
The defense would like to request no such thing.
Mr. Gavin?
Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related?
Oh man, you really are guilty. I'm not sure if I follow, Mr. Gavin.
As I explained before, the defense believes that Mr. Orley... I'm sorry, Miss Orley. Didn't mean to dead name.
Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice on this? He is the defense, not you.
Yikes. Did not expect that one, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
I made a
This is
decision
Mr.
before you, Justice.
This was Mr. Wright's strategy, so I need to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court.
At 2, Justice, you would betray me, your teacher?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty, it's about the truth.
Bonk.
Very well, the defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
Dun, dun,
Weird
dun.
name.
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. Girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club the night of the murder?
I dine with him rather frequently.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will, I had become involved in the murder. Thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Wright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. You were wrong and I'm right. Thanks for watching!
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice?
Sir!
He's lying and you're going to expose him.
Understood, sir! Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph.
Press on that! You had dinner with Mr. Gavin?
Yeah, he dined with me at the Borscht Bold Club today. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual.
Usual.
I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner.
Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Kristoff. We dined for 2 hours and Kristoff left. After that, Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left.
5 minutes? So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time.
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Oh, Mr. Wright, what it was you said? Kristoff Gavin and Shoddy Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
Here, I was all nervous about this meeting. And now we hear they just passed in the hall?
That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be if that were all that really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright. What are you hiding this time?
When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress.
About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga orally mentioned?
Yeah. The plan was simple, elegant, yeah, blah blah blah. Land a card in Wright's pocket beforehand and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. The trap would snap shut. Yes, a harmless prank in practice. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it.
A quirk?
I went to put my hand in my pocket and found the card. Card she planted!
The card she planted!
Oh, sorry. Stole your shit.
You're stealing my thunder! I'll kill you!
You will try, Apollo, and you will fail. We had this discussion out in the lobby. I want you to understand, I don't mince words when I threaten people. I want you to know that your life is at stake every time you talk
Eat
to
your
me.
hamburgers, Mr. Wright!
I will eat
Shove
my
in the
hamburgers, and I'll eat your fucking hamburgers.
No! My hamburgers!
That's right. That's what you get when you don't eat them.
The murder weapon?
That's right. I put the card inside the
there
murder weapon.
There, I thought the card was going to be the... Well...
Sounds like terrific drama. That's strange. Excuse me. Damn.
Mr. Wright, the poker head in courtroom number 3 approves this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I guess I have to show the
Examine
bottle.
the bottle.
Yeah. So let's do this in the right order.
Well, let's examine it first, make sure that there's no card in it.
Yeah, there's no card in it. I clicked on that before. Rigatoni.
Mr. Wright, if I may? I examined this bottle and, well, I don't see any card in here.
No?
What? Mr. Wright, surely ellipses isn't all you have to say for yourself.
I can't say I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
My use is ... ellipses.
Yeah.
Okay. Ah?
Perhaps a 5th person came and took it out. Oh, and a 6th person could have helped.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client.
Yes, but he's being unprofessional and uncooperative, and unlike him, I don't take kindly to that when it happens.
Also, he's accusing me of being the murderer.
Yeah, I'm here too.
What's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? Mr. Wright, the picture of that magician in your thing, could they have made the card disappear?
You know what? My daughter does have magical powers.
Apparently you do too if you could just spawn a little girl that's biologically related to you without a wife.
This is what happens when we jack off in the primordial ooze, Apollo. Things just kind of spring into action.
Objection! You lack the time travel capacity to go back to the primordial ooze!
Oh, do I, Apollo? Maybe you would like to present some evidence proving that I lack that capacity. I'm gonna pull up the
Just
chapter.
bring
Yeah,
up
push
a
a button.
picture of the time travel device from the Great Ace Attorney. You made the call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones don't get a signal down in the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at the time?
Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all. So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the
Who
call,
jizzed on the piano?
that would be me. I wanted to mark it as my territory. I used to have a client who
That's
peed on everything, so I thought I'd one-up him.
Wait, really?
No. Not...
Alright, no, because knowing this game, I was like, oh god, he's pissing everywhere out of nervousness. And that's when you returned. The victim was already dead.
Yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in.
Little?
He was bleeding from the forehead, after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that. Except I go to wrestling things, and people like to cut themselves open for shock value. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair, and I figured Kristoff's law offices would give me a friend rate for my defense fees.
I looked at that piano. It certainly was a sticky situation.
I'm not just certain, Apollo, I'm HIV positive.
Oh, okay.
All paying full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved, after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high.
This is the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about.
Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him. Now.
Yes, sir! I have to think. What Mr. Wright's trying to tell me with his testimony. The truth has to be in there somewhere.
Alright. That evening, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in the photograph. Shoddy Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left. Discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. The girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Can we check the dent? Because, like, let's see if there was blood coming out of the forehead of the guy. Like, or did the indentation just, like, smash in his skull without any blood?
Let's find out. Well, it's dripping backwards.
Yeah, it's dripping. Yeah.
But let's look at our other evidence. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. Defendant and Mr. Smith at the Borscht Bowl Club. Tips when crime took place. Pretty sure we're done with the cards for now. Death. Time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Basement.
You know what's wild? We could probably just figure out who killed him by who put the hat back on his head.
I mean, that's a great point.
Like, oh, right, fingerprints on. Let's see if there's fingerprints on the fucking hat.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. Girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. Yeah, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead.
Alright.
So when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. We probably need to press on something twice then.
Wait, hold on. I called Gavin. Did he not call the police?
Oh no,
Yeah.
they called the police. Okay.
After
I was,
after
yeah.
that, he called the police. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, he left to call the police.
Yeah, but I thought he had called the police to notify him that there was a murder, not that. Yeah, I thought he called the police to notify them of the murder, but it's not said here, unfortunately.
Do.
Let's go back and press on stuff. Dined for 2 hours. Shoddy Smith walked in 5 hours after. 5 minutes
What
after.
time did the dinner start at, though?
That's a great question. That evening is all he says.
Yeah.
Can we check? I don't think he can. I've tried doing that a couple times, but no clues here. No clues here. No clues here. Yeah, I don't think so. At least not yet. Maybe later we can. Sorry. Okay. Shoddy Smith walked in. Okay. Evening. Had dinner. 5 minutes after. Discovered the trap. Girl was knocked out cold and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming on his forehead. The only thing I can think of is the 2 a.m. thing here, because it... But who knows how long the card game lasted.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm used to entrapment, you see? Knew what was coming. So you struck first. I like that. I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick to your hand in your pocket, they don't.
So what would happen if we showed the bottle again being empty and he with the comment that he stuck the...
We did that earlier, but we can try it again. We got 5 hits to take. I mean, they're letting us do it again.
Yeah. That's alright, surely. We got all this before.
Yeah.
However... say, Mr. Gavin...
Maybe we could show him the phone? I guess I just have to show evidence on something else in here.
Okay, this is silly.
Okay?
But okay, so bring up the photo.
Which one?
If of Wright talking to what's his face.
Okay.
So does Wright sit by the piano or does Wright sit where Mr. Shaddy was? Because if Shaddy came in 5 minutes later, then why is he in Wright's spot?
Yeah, why not? That's what best thing we've got to go on at the moment.
No. When I meant the second one. Use that photo for the second one.
All right. Okay, wrong one, but whatever.
Okay, so just do a good test. And then we hear about the fateful encounter with Mr. Rider says Chris, which I may have met. I'm to think now.
Nah.
Alright. Should I just watch this by the...
Let's see if we can get more info out of this. It was in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., sure. I'm gonna try the evidence with the phone, the phone on the bottle.
Well, no. When Phoenix says when I found... Oh! Fuck, I'm stupid.
What?
When Phoenix talks about the blood dripping down his forehead, the hat was on the dude. Like, they found the hat on him. So how could Phoenix... Like, that there's at least something there to discuss. So, when I returned to blood stream... If the blood was streaming down the back of his head and he had a hat on, how did Phoenix see it?
Okay, that works for me. We finally got to use that photo.
Wouldn't think that you would see blood on his forehead.
Good point.
Here's a hamburger for you, Apollo.
Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head. I thought it would be funny.
You put the hat on the dead man's head?
He wore it throughout our entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph.
And?
I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head.
You tampered with a crime scene!
And then I stabbed him in the chest 16 times, Your Honor.
38 stab wounds!
The other 22 weren't from me.
So, Miss Orling didn't... Gotta get muddled up. It being the victim's, head?
I'd think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again.
Phoenix Wright loves head.
Pardon. He does like talking about eating pussy all the time. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that. This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well...
You lost it?
Well, it was taken from me. You certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who further...
Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never!
Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here.
Huh?
When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. That
A reason?
is right here. Okay,
Your
now we're going to
cell
take off.
phone?
Now we're going to take the bandage off the cell phone. What's this? Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? Game not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you. He turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that? Should it come to that? Should it come to that? Bone china plate? Kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but pate. Oh, he saw him without his hat on.
The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead.
You're welcome, Your Honor. I would do nothing to
Wait
harm
a second.
you.
Something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gaffin ate dinner with you,
No,
you left the
we had
Boris
it right.
Bowl Club,
6 of 7 continents, Apollo.
then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate?
Yes.
Oh, that's right!
That's when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. And when I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason. The reason why you put the victim's hat back on. Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it? Phoenix, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, as the prosecutor,
Very well. Sorry, we'll break for 10 minutes, after which Mr. Gaffin will take a stand for the cross-examination. Sorry, I got a message. We're all clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well, this will be the final recess for the day. I call the seesaws!
Well, I didn't want the seesaws anyway.
It's just him and like fucking all the divorce parent cases with their children, like all on one side, the judge on the other, going ha 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 ha.
Oh, hi. You're his daughter, I think.
Hello, sir. Please pick a card.
What's all this about?
Oh, it's like, oh, but is this one okay? Excellent. So, no, you do the girl. I'm not sorry.
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to play it.
A trump card.
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely and the game is yours. That's all. Sayonara.
An ace. Where do I remember this card from?
It's the 5th ace. That's
Hey,
why
it's
Gavin had
blood?
to change it out.
You have your trump card. Now it's you to draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. Presto changeo.
This blood-stained card is my trump card for finding the truth. Where did that girl go? Did anyone else see it? Looks like Professor Layton. No?
Nope, didn't see it. Never happened. That girl.
That's what I meant, the connection. The lady in the picture was real!
Hey, bloody ace. Now we're all alone in court with the judge and the Winston Payne and nothing else around us.
Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Take the stand, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The witness state his name and his occupation.
Is this farce necessary, Your Honor?
Oh, yeah, believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom.
Fine, I'll play along.
First thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? By secret, I'm guessing it means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about that fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright! Who said you could stand over here?
What do you think you're doing, right? Well, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, never once taking it off except for that one time.
It's super weird that he's wearing a fedora in the other picture, but in that one it's clearly like a different shaped hat.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I didn't think that was relevant, but it might be.
Oh! When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to been there at the hideout at the time of the crime. Crime time, we call it.
In other words, I must be the real killer, is what you're trying to say. Not bad, Apollo.
Ah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Don't fuck with me again.
I'll try not to.
I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Ellipses!
Yet I'm afraid in the current situation I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. Clunk.
Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how are you getting involved in the events of that fateful night?
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place to be at the time, and so I left. That's when the call came from Wright.
So you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
Whoop whoop! What else can I say?
That's the sound of the police.
The police aren't coming here, Your Honor. This is the courthouse. They're allergic to here. We're only allowed to have criminals in here. And attorneys. I'm a detective.
I wonder if Gumshoe was in this game.
Oh, almost definitely.
Mr. Wright?
You had to say that, because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo?
Oh! Mr. Wright, the defense would like to do the cross-defendant examination victim. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
Cross-examination.
Yeah, man, you mean Mr. Smith?
His aura, shall we say. It's clear he wasn't a fraud like Satoru Gojo.
Okay.
Don't worry, Apollo. You'll get that reference in 20 years.
Wait, when did this game come out?
2007. I may have miscalculated by 5.
Alright, fair enough. Is Bleach still going?
Unfortunately. But not in the way you would think.
The little window, that means the one used to keep the watch up the stairs.
Yep.
Oh, so far everything makes... It's funny, we were joking about Eat Your Hamburgers Apollo, and I click on a random link in a subreddit, and they're talking about Ace Attorney, and they're talking about someone shared the Eat Your Hamburgers Apollo.
Oh yeah, I think that's probably the most popular Phoenix Wright meme.
Oh, so true, but it's just a weird bit of synchronicity.
It's about in Meinhof phenomenon.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because talking this much has caused like my brain to deplete oxygen.
Yeah, and your throat gets dry. You gotta rest it.
Oh, it's fine. With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Victim was dead, as he appears in the photo.
I now realize that the Jimmy Smith voice is what they used for Krillin in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Pretty much. It was a Sunny Straight impression, but same thing.
Mr. Wright came off with his hat and stole his hat and put on a new hat. There's a lot of hats going on here. Hat on a hat. Have you ever played Team Fortress, Mr. Kristoff?
No, I've played Toho though. If you take off their hats, they die. That's what they tell me anyway.
I forgot. Toho is like Toho's magical girl's gun thing, right?
Yes, except the guns are just magic bullets.
Ah. It's a shoot 'em up. Like Space Invaders, but
yes.
faster.
Yes, it's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up.
There must have been someone else there to see the crime.
I said I saw no one, not a soul.
But that goes against what Mr. Wright said.
Yes, this mysterious fourth person, who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question, then. Tell me.
That is so bitchy and sassy that they both know that Mr. Gavin's the killer. Like, yes, the killer's like, Phoenix was like, yep, he is that person is the killer.
Yep. Well, fuck you then, bitch. Slut. Whore. Question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? Yeah, let's show evidence.
It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why the card was swapped.
Why did the killer take the fifth ace? I really wish I could use the arrow keys. First of all, do I need to actually examine this?
Yeah, best to just, yeah.
A single drop of blood marks the front of the card.
Flip around the back, and it's a red back.
Yep, it is in fact a red back. Boom! Nope, gotta go back. Now we go back.
My reason is, this!
Is that an ace?
Why?
It's the ace of spades!
That's the trump card, right next to the spade.
This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be? It's the ace of spades! Cue the Motorhead!
I have no idea what Ace of Spades sounds like, but yeah.
You feel like a gamble, a damn, ace of spades?
Evolution!
You know, I recently learned that Jim Johnson wrote all those songs. Lemmy just performed it.
Yep. I knew that. They were very specific to the Triple H era. No. Impossible. Unacceptable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud, like Satoru Gojo. I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene, the real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
The reason for?
For the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
It's my voice!
Me, mine!
It's mine!
Take another look at the photo and the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor. A trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Could a drop of that blood have fallen onto one of the cards? The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right. Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss... What are you talking about? I literally can't understand you! You want to know why the killer would have taken the card from the crime scene, and now I've told you that one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see? This is baseless conjecture. Baseless! Baseless at all! So baseless that it's cringe! Oh, I assure you it's quite based.
Yeah! Yeah! Say the line, Truth!
Oh, I assure you it's quite based!
Cue the music!
I don't have any music queued up, but, you know...
No, that'll be for next week when we have to do recaps, and it'll be like, cue, and it beats into the like we did with the Great Ace Attorney.
Okay, that works. If Quiz has the capacity to do that, then sure.
Yeah.
Try picturing the scene of the crime in your head. Ooh, 3D. This is the power of the DS, Apollo.
This is the power of... That's right, Jewel Screens, Apollo.
The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker taker. Music could be louder.
This is the power of Etrian Odyssey and SMT4.
And Zero Escape. Alright, bumped up the music a little bit. There was a single drop of card on it. God damn it. I'm so useless without Maya here. God, fuck me. There is one decisive problem with this scene. Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit. The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses... Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Yay! We did it!
Take a look at this photo again.
If he bled
in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the card. Why, that's right! What does it mean?
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs? Oh, man.
Apollo, try turning the chair around. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, come on. Okay. Okay.
Just click on it?
Yeah, just click on it.
The chair was facing the other way? It would have to be. So, we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table. So does that mean that the killer was straddling Mr. Smith before he whacked him with the bottle?
Maybe? I mean, the killer turned the chair back around. Next step. Look at this diagram once more. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction.
Again?
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. The victim was facing away, second victim.
What doesn't make sense is the second witness. Oh, no, of course you do, sir.
As I thought. Okay, wasn't
Help!
good. Oh, probably the killers. Like, we're not quite there yet. We're leaping in logic.
The victim was struck from the front, correct?
Indeed.
Would it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front?
I would think it'd be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall? In the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
Donnie?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing toward the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front?
The killer had to be standing, well, here.
You get points for flair, but that's about all you get. I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha!
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that, at the very moment of the crime...
Wait, I know! At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there! What's this now?
I mean, that's the only
The
explanation.
fuck?
Right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff, send a team to examine the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Ah, Your Honor?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give them this to the bailiff.
Huh? Yeah, I see. I can't read. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best. Let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here. Which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Okay, just gonna point out. Sorry. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. At the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my, what's this?
What is this now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact. Oh, dang! Sorry, that was you. Notice something, Apollo. Our line of deduction is rapidly improving. Ha ha ha.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. On the bottom of your DS screen, is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in the diagram contradicts?
Take that!
About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved?
Sure, why not?
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. the cupboard would be completely covering up the window to the stairs. Ah! That's right! Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin!
What? What did you say, you fucking bitch? I'll have you know I was trained in the Navy SEALs, motherfucker.
Nyeh. Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did you find the witness to the crime scene from?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. Fister! Yes! I knew I could trust you!
We just now received word from the investigative team at the Boss Boat Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there was a secret passage behind it.
Nani?
Ah yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about.
I do remember him saying something about a secret passage, do I?
A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law.
So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses can get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer.
I'm back to the judge because the bailiff's dead.
He tried doing another moonsault, now he's unconscious. They're wheeling him out, doing a stretcher job. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo.
I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Ellipses.
Ellipses. Dare I ask what really happened that night? Actually, I think I could probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith, a date with destiny, where he crouched hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. And then a chance came, and he took it.
Eek! Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get help.
Oh, that's probably Phoenix. Well, his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shiny
Leaving Mr. Shiny Smith in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. And he wheeled his chair around to look, and wham! Right in the kisser!
Pow! Right in the kisser. Pow! Right in the kisser. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime.
Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red!
Yerk!
The fuck did you call me?
A slur, Apollo. This is what you get.
Man, that's kind of fucked.
My name is Gavin Kristoff, or Kristoff Gavin. It's not exactly a name not known for white supremacy.
I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin.
Ellipses.
Mr. Gavin! Mr. Payne!
Yerk! Yes, Your Honor.
the prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion.
Glark!
Believe me when I say I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
I object, Your Honor. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin. Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me?
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. Not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence?
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance?
The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was talking to him about.
Yeah, fingerprints on the murder weapon, and not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court, in this case, demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down, and that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how the caught fish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo?
Yes!
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation, just like that.
Yeah, just like what? Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to...
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one.
To shake out the card.
Yeah. Or to put the card in, even. Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight.
How about you just say the answer in plain words? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions, indeed. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Gavin said that the court in this case demanded an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done.
Oh,
Please tell me that's not your...
Please,
Please tell me that's not your catchphrase, Mr. Justice.
what evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle were upside down? I suppose going over to the bloody ace would be the answer.
why?
He had to get that out of the...
The card that was in the bottle was a 5. 5 of hearts.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay.
I think now we have to examine this. No, you know what? I think that might have just been a whatever.
Alright.
Red herring.
No, that's not the 5th. Then it would have to be the... Can we examine the bottle again and be like, oh, this had a card in it, or...
Bottle is completely empty. Probably don't. Okay, let's do process of elimination. We probably don't need the bully ace. We don't need the victim's hand. Probably not going to need these photographs. At least we're not going to need this photograph, or probably this photograph. In fact, these two photographs more or less show the same information. What?
Look, let's go with the Phoenix with the talking to what's his face photo.
Not a photo we have.
No, the Phoenix talking to Mr. Smith. That. Open up that.
Here are the bottles here. There's no bottle on the table. Here's what I can tell.
Yeah, but if he had to hand what's his face a bottle there, could we make the argument that like that's how the fingerprints would be upside down?
Yeah. Yeah, like, if he's reaching behind him in the chair, he's grabbing the bottle and, yeah, just...
By the neck,
Yep.
upside down. And it said Phoenix Wright's favorite drink is grape juice.
Grape juice. I get in my sippy cup and I like to drink up my Welch's.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple.
Recall our dinner that evening, Krista. Honestly, like, it is so fucking simple that it's just, like... It's easy to overlook.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect these games to ever be that simple.
It's one of those things that, like, requires lateral thinking, and then you overthink it.
I keep trying to, you know, do the pole vault over the bar of logic in this game, but sometimes they put the bar so low that it's like, oh, I just sprang all the way into China, and now I'm lost, and I'm scared, and I'm trying to swim across the ocean, but it's salty, like my tears. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection.
What?
Will you quit being a bitch and just go down, motherfucker?
Proof? Well, that's,
As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Well, no, there was a card stuffed into it, wasn't there?
Yeah? I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Yes, I have your memo about that right here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Porch Bowl Club. And here's the one of the bottles in question.
And you can see the card rolled up in it. Are you going to just put that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if any were on that but his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such an obvious mistake as that. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything.
Say, Apollo.
Yes?
Why don't you go on ahead and examine that bottle?
But why?
Just humor me.
Okay, Mr. Wright.
That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
Anything you say, Mr. Wright. That's some bottle.
Found the 5 of Hearts.
There's something inside the bottle.
Open it. Open the bottle, Apollo. It's the 5 of Hearts!
What's this?
That card, it can't be. Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment.
Miss Olga Orley?
Yes, our devoted little swinging Devochka.
That night, I played at the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed.
Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in your this piece of testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found the card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of drink. I threw the card inside the bottle.
I don't understand what you're saying.
But you know that it's true. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. And the only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Oh no, he's summoning the lobster!
Well, oh, okay.
Alright then. I've seen this before.
That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed.
Not including the art I've seen of you in Edgeworth.
That's not my logic. My lifestyle, that's very gay and fake.
I thought it was his past.
His lifestyle, whatever. His
Alright.
past is his stuff with Edgeworth is not in the past. It is currently ongoing and shall continue long into the future. It is not just a thing that he did. It is a life choice he has made.
Alright, I think we're done with the trial outcome.
Mr. Payne, do you have any report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see, still. One has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shaddy Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession to be sure, that's all we know about him.
As I told you, Your Honor, that's the PC word for gypsy.
Good. Mr. Wright,
Yeah?
7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch.
Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo, the man of a million hamburgers. This is a dark time for our legal system, a twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right.
Mr. Wright!
Our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, this seems like a good time to announce a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty!
Send in the dancing lobsters!
Confetti! I'm allergic!
My one weakness.
Court is adjourned.
Everyone get the fuck out.
It's April 20th, you know what that means.
Hitler's birthday!
Among other things. Thanks, Apollo, you came through, just like I thought you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who covered Mr. the Killer.
I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too, today, didn't you? Your ability.
Ability?
Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Wait, I wonder if he means... I have
Perception!
one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? What's this weird vibe I'm getting? Wait, what was that, Mr. Wright?
You'll have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer.
The answer, right? Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
What
What
possible,
possible-
reason could he have to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you?
This locket is the key.
Huh? Oh, that reminds me, I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. But
That girl died 15 years ago.
Apollo, where do you think we are right now?
Your daughter, right?
No, we're not in my daughter, Apollo. God damn it. You know, you were right about this locket.
Huh?
I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury! Guards, get him!
Mr. Fister, please. You're too based. I know you too well.
I said no such thing. Huh?
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth.
Wait, but then, why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with the picture of your daughter inside of it?
Sometimes the strangest path to the truth is the best one, given its time. You're still just getting started with your career.
Oh, speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices, after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Does that mean I won't get paid?
Apollo?
Yeah?
How about coming to work for me?
Eh? You mean at the Wright & Co. Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know about it.
I can't imagine that to be true, but...
Wait, but didn't you? You're not a...
Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. I'm a detective, as I always meant to be.
That incident 7 years ago. The legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Gumshoe. No, Phoenix Wright.
Nah, Gumshoe was there too.
The case reached a sad conclusion and he left law for good.
Meanwhile, Edgeworth left law for evil.
Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
Talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick.
Oh, the ace.
Yeah, probably.
You mean this, don't you? I got it from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily for us. Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
Well, you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago.
None of that matters much now, does it?
Yeah!
Snarf!
I punched him!
It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office's address. Drop in if you like.
Mr. Wright!
Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling, "Take that," next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.
And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's the story of how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved, and at the time I had no idea they were all related. Even every mystery that day connected by a single thread of logic. I'll find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins.
The end.
Woo! Yeah, save the product. Called retro saving, Tom.
Go back. Come on, Wazdy. Thank you. I hate Wazdy so much. Continue on to the next episode? Nope, that's for next week. When we go back to more Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. This has been Lifunia Gaming. Bye.